Hello everyone. Hello. This is supposed to be a very calm Outter VR session for you again. So you can calm down, just lay back and really just take in the calm and the nice energies that you have. Like release all of the things that do not serve you and always like pursue for something that is for your greater good, for yourself, that is a bit positive, that helps you get better, that helps you strengthening your soul and your capabilities and what you're able to achieve in this life. Make sure that you just let go of everything right now that does not serve you. Like absolutely anything that does not serve you, let go of that. Let go of anything that does not serve you right now and keep moving forward because there's only one way forward. I mean, there's multiple ways that you can choose, but you have to focus on one path. Focus on one path that suits you the most. If you find the path that suits you the most, where you don't lie to yourself, where you literally are happy with how you live, choose that path and follow it. Obstacles might be coming left and right, or there will be less, or there will be barely any obstacles. It depends on your character, on your personality, on how much support you have. Um, it depends on all of that with in terms of the obstacles. Sometimes you're just all by yourself and you have to go through the hardest trials that you can go through, but I'm telling you here right now that you can do this. You can do this because the moment you stay in alignment, and you are in alignment right now as you're watching this video, you are in alignment. And if you take it seriously, obviously, if you don't take this seriously, then you're not in alignment. But yeah, this is like up to you, obviously, if you wanna believe me or not. Um, but I do stay true to myself. I've always stayed true to myself, and I always want people to just get better. I was always just a party bean. I like doing parties and stuff. It's just who I am. And I'm not mad about anything that has happened. Sure, there's things that I personally also could have done better, but we live and learn from the things that we did, and we don't just like keep being stuck. Like we keep getting better and better and better every single time, and it's good. It's good that we're getting better because when you get better, then you start to see life from a different perspective because then you see like all of these different possibilities. Like there's so many different possibilities that you can choose from. Like you can start journaling, you can start reading a book, you can start going cycling, you can start you know helping the community, like community service. Yeah, literally just do it out of your pure heart, not because of like any other intentions, but of the heart, the pure of your heart, you know because if you're um basically the universe is something that you cannot play around with in a sense. Like it will give you like resistance all of the time, like it's not like something that you really can change, like you can shift and bend things your way, obviously, like you can do that, but maintaining it is a different story because that requires a lot of like effort, and sometimes you have to even get like people involved with this as well, like some others, to achieve your goals like this. But eternally, if we think about it from a different perspective, if you're just on your own and in solitude by yourself, then you start to realize that you can shape your own reality full on. You can start by just meditating, or by just like sleeping a lot. Like you don't even have to meditate. You don't have to meditate. Sleep. Go to sleep. Get like something comfortable on, or maybe just sleep naked, whatever you want to do, and then just sleep for a while, because the sleep in this while you're sleeping, your body is actually recovering from the entire day that has happened, because sleep is something that is like very, very important. People need sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, then your body will eventually run out of fuel, because we are capable of moving forward and such, but in our bodies that we got gifted here on this earth, at least, we do have certain limitations. Like we have physical limitations, and we always have to keep in mind that those limitations are definitely there. We can always like try to extend them a little bit, like to think outside of the box, maybe to grasp for new ideas and stuff, or maybe you just like have new ideas by default. Like you just think of new things. Like I get new ideas all of the time, but that is my personality. That's who I am. Like I'm very creative. I love being creative. I love calming my beans down and helping others. I also like being, just being a little bit silly sometimes, like, but I don't hurt anyone initially. So, yeah, it just all comes down to yourself. What do you want? What do you want for the people around you? If you have ill intent and you really want to push forward with that, then it's not gonna end well. It's never gonna end well. So don't expect something good to come around if you have an ill intent, because that's never gonna like work working favor for you. Like never. Even when you might win a couple of things, once you lose one time, it's over. It's over. And that's what happens when people have ill intent. Like they think they win, and when they win, they get this high, and then they want to keep winning. But then eventually they hit that point where they will just lose everything, and everything will just crumble. Like and that is like the so-called self-destruction peak of people that are trying to just be villains or like be evil and stuff like that, because it won't benefit you at all. Even if you think it would, it's not gonna benefit you ever. At the end of the day, it will also show you like what you lack the most, like composure, and also like resilient, maybe not resilient, patience, and really thinking through what you did, because in a moment of destroying things, you're doing something really bad, like you're taking away someone's joy, or maybe someone's, something what made them happy. You just take that away from them violently, which is never good. I would just in general not really mess with others too much, because you don't know who you're facing. If you're facing someone with a lot of faith and you do this sort of stuff, then make yourself ready to like just lose everything because like it's not gonna work in your favor. Like it never will. Like you just have to hit the wrong person one time and then it's over. It's literally over. But to get back to the main topic, to the calm ASMR, I think I'm just gonna call this like a little bit of a rambly session. Yeah, but yeah, staying hopeful is always a good thing. You can always change, always be more positive, always be more aligned, be better. And yeah, it's fine to explore your inner self, even like your deepest inner things that you think about. It's okay to explore them, as long as you keep in mind that those inner things are not what you are. You are what you put yourself outside. Like for example, I'm this otter bean. I love being this otter, so that's why I'm being myself like this, because this is like super cute, and I want to share like my calmness and my my kindness like this over the internet in a way, because the World Wide Web is a web, as you can tell already. And I want to help people see that they might be even tangled inside of that web, and to see them, make them see clearly that they can just leave it. You can leave the web and just go outside, go with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, go to the beach, enjoy life, enjoy this time while you're being on Earth, and just be positive about everything. There will be things sometimes like pushing you back down, but then there will be times where things will just start being more hyper and better again. Like it comes in waves and it goes in waves, Like it comes and goes. Just like with the wind. Like you can follow the wind, Like it just depends on you. Like don't take this literally. Don't always follow the wind, because it can also be deceiving, Like it really depends like what type of situation you're in. Yeah. Make sure that you listen to your internal guide, like your inner monk in a sense, because we all have this little inner monk that says like, oh, don't do this right now, you're gonna get hurt a lot, and like, oh, don't do this, sometimes listen to that, but sometimes also say like, silence, I want to step over my fears, like just tiny steps that you take, like tiny stairs, because most of the people, they don't even want to take like 2 stairs up, they just want to stay stuck where they're at, and they don't realize that that doesn't work, like you cannot just stay stuck at one place and think like that's gonna be it, like that's not happening. You always have to put a tiny bit of effort into it, even if you don't like it, a tiny bit of effort, because the gear is always running, always running. The moment you stop, it's not usually that healthy, at least in this society that we live in. But at the same time, letting go can also help a lot. So it really depends. It's very hard for me to make judgment based off that and explain it in a way. You just have to find it for yourself. I can't sit here and explain like things away all I want to. At the end of the day, I'm not you and you are not me. Like I'm my own person, and I respect you for who you are, because I do have respect for all of my beings. But I want you to figure out your life on your own terms. I don't want to like mess with your life and what you like and what you don't like. I want you to find your own path and also your own love or your own life, where you can feel better about yourself. I don't want you to be sad, lonely, depressed, and all of that. What I've been through, I don't wish that towards you. Like, I just want you to just be happy and stay soft, because the moment you stay soft and tender, I feel like that is the most lethal weapon that you can have. Just literally staying soft and tender and literally innocent in a sense. I feel like that is like the most powerful tool that you can use. Yeah. At the same time, don't ever like think like anything is forgotten, because the universe sees everything, every intent of your heart, every like deception that you're trying to do. Also, if I were to do something bad, it would also read me, but I have no ill intentions. Like I genuinely have no ill intentions. I'm just silly, pretty much. That silly, silly goober. And yeah. So I want just people to be on the same page and to spread kindness and not to spread hate and gossip or like negative stuff all of the time, because I feel like no one is going to benefit from it. Like no one is going to ever benefit from gossiping or from negativity just spreading around. Whenever my friends would be talking about like stuff, I would just not listen, and I would say like, hey, I don't want to be part of it, or like I would not really say something until the point like, I don't want you to lash out on that person, because of me or something like that, you know, like I just want people to be peaceful with each other and not just cause chaos within the circle. You know, I just want people to be on the same page and to be more peaceful, not to think about problems too much, because rather think of solutions to your problems. If you think of solutions to your problems, then your problems will just fade into the distance. They're still there, but at some point you can go back to them and then, you know, cut them out. Cut those problems out of your life and they're no longer part of you anymore. You know, you have to face your demons. That's what I like to say, in order to, you know, cut ties with them. And the moment you overcome your inner demons, that is the moment where you start shining brightly. I feel like you start shining brightly more. What also can help to strengthen you is definitely faith. I say this all the time, but people just don't seem to listen. Faith is not just a tool or anything, it's a belief, okay? It's a belief that you have, and whatever belief that you have, I hope that you return back to the only belief that matters, which is having faith, and not like logical structures, history, or any of that. It's faith, okay? It's faith and staying in alignment. Having faith that everything will turn out to be the best thing in your life, you know, instead of just having faith and you don't even know what to have faith in, into a betterment of your life, in a sense, like a betterment. You want things to be good for you, then you have to also push that outside, you know, this ideology, you know, like not everyone's gonna be happy with your choices. There's going to be people that will be disagreeing with you, but if you know with your pure heart that what you're doing is good and it's helpful for others around you, and it's also helping you, and you see it like resonating from people in your real life and in yourself, then that's already a good sign, you know. But always keep in mind that this reality that we live in is also an illusion. So sometimes we have to like snap ourselves off of this grid of reality and try to really face ourselves again, because we're still living on Earth, you know. We're living on Earth where there's a lot of trials that we have to go through, all of us, me too, me included. Like, it's just everyone that has to go through like a lot of trials. Sometimes you will stumble and fall, but don't make that fall your identity. Like, you can push through it. Even if everything seems to be against you, you can push through it. And I believe in you. No matter how fat you are, how skinny you are, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Asian, if you're whatever you are, if you're a cactus, like whatever you are, if you're a sunflower in a pot, like whatever you are, it doesn't matter as long as you go for the betterment of the people around you and yourself. Yourself is even more important than the people around you, because sometimes the people around you can be just a mirror of who you are, in a sense, towards the people outside. They're kind of like a reflection of yourself, in a sense. Like, are you giving a lot or are you taking a lot? You know, like, do you like giving or do you like just taking things all of the time? You know, like, it's up to you if you want to give or to take, you know. And sometimes it might seem like as if you're taking like a lot, you know, like you're taking a lot, but it can also be very deceptive, because at the moment where you like taking, where it feels like you're taking a lot, that might just be like a little demon in your head telling you, oh, you're just taking all the time, you're not giving. But don't listen to that, you know, don't listen to that. You're doing inner work at that point in time. When this sort of thing happens, where it feels like you're taking a lot, but you're not actually taking a lot, you're just literally taking so you can recover, then that's different, you know. Like, when you take something to recover, then that's like a band-aid, in a sense, like a little plaster to your wound. Like, it's like a little help that you can use. Yeah, so that's that. like I said, some you can train your body, train, try being athletic, um, just try anything that just doesn't keep you just being on the couch all day. Like I know I would also love to just be on the couch all day and do nothing else but that, but I feel like we're not learning anything from it. Are you having really when you're like on the couch and like not doing anything for like months and months on end, like really think about it. Like what are you really doing? You're not helping anyone. No one is benefiting from it. Not even you are benefiting from it. I bet you're kind of miserable right now. Not because I'm projecting it onto you, but because like I know how I felt when I was in that position. I was feeling like kind of miserable, honestly, when I was in that spot. And when I started to just like go back and be more motivated again, even though I had all of the reasons to completely quit out of this life. By the way, I'm a glitch in the matrix. That's what I am. I'm like a glitch in the matrix. But I'm here to help people to get back into alignment so they don't get completely fucking lost, because I want to help people. I just want to help people from my purest intent of my heart. I want to help people. I want to help them to at least stay in alignment and stay positive. No matter what I say, I want you to stay positive, stay in alignment, stay happy. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to overdose or anything. Even though I did like make a silly video about this, but I like just take that as a joke and not like as a real thing, please, as well. Um so yeah. Wait, I think I will just end this video here because it's been like quite a long while, probably. It's been 22 minutes. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk like 2 more minutes because I'm gonna give you a little bit more of experience, okay? If you take my wisdom, take it with a grain of salt. Everyone goes through their life differently. Nobody has the same life what I have. Everybody goes through their own struggles. There might be similar, maybe. There might be similar things that might be trickling onto you right now on your little head. But it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, it's like kind of like a mirror effect. Sometimes people like to copy you not because they want to hurt you or anything, but they want to be kind of like you so they can also spread your kindness towards others. So when somebody like finds inspiration to copy you a little bit, don't judge them, like encourage them. And then at some point tell them, hey, how about you just make something on your own, like on your own terms, And then eventually they will start just expanding on their own horizon and like exploring themselves. And that is the beauty of like being artistically expressive. That is just like so beautiful when people are just able to just like artistically express themselves so much more. And yeah. I'm just happy being my little otter. And I will always be remembered as the tiny otter. I could have decided to just be a dragon or something like that, but instead I decided to be a tiny otter because I just love being tiny and soft. Like I don't shrink. I still have boundaries, like I don't let people just step on me or something like that. I have my own boundaries, and like I know when people are trying to mess with me now, like I can sense that in a way. It's hard for me to explain, but I can sense people when they have ill intent and stuff. I can actually sense that. So it's like a internal warning system that I have installed inside of me. It's like a gift from God in a sense. So like, yeah. So I don't trust everyone that just comes by or it seems very deceiving. Like I have my own little warning system installed, which means I'm not like saying I don't trust anyone. I just don't trust certain people because like I feel certain people's energies more than others. There's people that are very good at hiding their energies, and there's people that are very bad at hiding their energies. Some people are very blatant and open, and some people are just very for themselves and not even talking, But even then, sometimes I sense when they're like a little bit off with their, character and stuff, like with how they are, um, which is also very interesting. I don't know how I developed this kind of like, it's kind of like a superpower, honestly. It's genuinely like kind of like a superpower in a sense. It's crazy to talk about when I say it like this, but it genuinely feels like that. But other than that, like I said, keep pursuing something that makes you happy and others happy as well. I don't know what else to say, honestly. Help people that I need, help homeless people, help the people around you. Maybe check if there's if your neighbors are fine or something like that, because your neighbors are also important. Anything that is just positive, or if you had like a conflict earlier on, maybe you can resolve that with something more positive, and if you cannot resolve that conflict peacefully, then stay away from it for like a few months, and then try to interact with that person again, like after like half a year or so. And then usually things have already like mellowed down like by a lot by that point. Like they have mellowed down to like a point where you can approach them again. It's always like that. Nobody has like this amount of like aggressiveness towards someone. They might even love you still, but they were just maybe overly angry at you before. But yeah, sometimes people are very stubborn. Oh, stubbornness, I think a very good word for this. Stubbornness is something what this society here, we thrive in stubbornness. Like we're very stubborn with how we think and how we are, like we think like that this is like everything that there is, or like when your girlfriend leaves, like you really crave, or like you're stubborn that you want to get a girlfriend back or something like that. Some people are actually like this, but you have to learn how to let go, because the moment you learn how to let go is when everything abundantly flows into your life. It really does work like this. It's not a cheat code or anything. It literally, the moment you start looking at life from an internal perspective, is the moment where you start realizing, maybe I'm also part of the problem. Like maybe I am also part of the problem. And then you start changing your view so you can adjust towards the outside. So you're adjusting, you're doing everything that you can possibly, but also to keep you safe, obviously. Like you don't want to put yourself always in danger. You can put yourself in danger for others' sake, like as an act of bravery, obviously, if you're trying to protect a loved one. I'm not saying not to do that, but like you don't always have to put yourself in danger. There's moments where when you put yourself in danger, it's actually very bad, things you have to really take into account. Like listen to your spirit, basically. When things get really heated and very distinct, then you will know how to act. Like when things are getting like at a tipping point or a turning point, and you're in a good alignment, then you don't really have to think. Then you can like trust your inner instinct, because you have been staying in alignment for so long that you can already trust it. But if you're someone that dabbles around in like drugs or in whatever, don't trust your instinct. Really think what is currently going on and then act accordingly, because you might do something wrong. It depends. Like I guess it depends. Like if you're trying to help someone that is like, there, and you were both under the influence, and there's someone else coming trying to do harm, obviously then you know what to do. I mean that shows all of the signs. But yeah. Just make sure that you stay true to yourself. You don't lie about yourself. Make yourself happy sometimes. Happiness is not everything in life. Joy comes with sorrow. Sadly, like sometimes at least. At least while you're on earth, it comes with sorrow. But I do believe that there will be a world after this earth that where we can all live in joy and love together, for basically eternity. Honestly, like if we decide to like be happy about it and just have a more positive mindset, I do believe that we can achieve literally anything. Like you can achieve literally anything. This is not just like a motivational um, ASMR session. This is just like a general like consent right now. This is something that I want to tell you really deeply because you can achieve anything. I'm standing here, right here. I'm not supposed to be alive, but I am. I'm standing right here. And you can do that too. You can do it too. I could have went down a much worse path, but I myself, I went outside and I did the change. I decided to change. I personally decided to change. No one pushed this onto me. No one. I personally decided, hey, this is really bad for me. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to change. So I threw all of this stuff away and like, I literally changed myself. And you can do that too. You can do it too. And if you cannot do it on your own, which I was also struggling with, then you can go back to faith. Back to faith. It's very, very important to have faith. My belief is like more the Christianity belief. But yeah, everyone has like their own belief system, I guess. Some people believe in bananas. Or whatever they like to believe in. But yeah, don't believe in bananas. Please come back to like something that is more grounded. Something that is more grounded, like be like a different species or something that is just more grounding, than just being a table or like being a banana, something that is actually just that makes more sense, I mean, you can be a table or a banana, I guess, but I don't know what you have to go through in order to be that. But yeah. Yeah. So I think at this point then you're just like a jester or something like that. When you want to be a banana or a table. I'm not sure. I'm just saying it. Maybe that's true. Maybe that is genuinely true because I like being a living being, like a living, thriving being, that has, like a dick and also, can have fun with others and stuff, like I'm just a living being, like I live and I, like, yeah. So it just like depends on how you want to live, what are your guidelines, what is something that you want to pursue desperately, maybe not desperately, maybe something that you want to pursue, really want to pursue, and then you go for it. And like you don't just wait and like observe and then never anything changes. You try to actually like go for it. The law of attraction also works with like attracting things into your life. That definitely does work, but that takes a way more patience than you might be comfortable with. So it's definitely worth to just take action, honestly. Like you can just wait all of the time and things would just come to you, which is very awesome, honestly. But at the same time, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of pain, a lot of isolation, a lot of solitude. So not everyone is probably willing to go through that, which is totally understandable. I went through a lot of solitude and like pain and stuff. So like I'm not recommending this to anyone. Like to absolutely no one. This is like this was really bad. Like I don't want to go through that again. um, so find your way. Sometimes be brave. It's okay to be brave. You know. It's easier said than done though. Like fear is like really like very silent and it likes to creep in. You know, like it tells you, oh, you can't do that. Oh no, you shouldn't do that. Delay that on another day. You know, like it starts with delaying things and then eventually like you don't end up doing anything anymore, which is very vicious. So be careful. Be careful. Fear is a dangerous drug. A very, very dangerous drug. And I feel like more people than you might realize are suffering under that. Like a lot of people are suffering under fear. Like a lot of them. It's not just you. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. This video probably went like over 33 minutes right now. That's my estimation out of my head right now. I don't see the time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Oh, it's 36.